Hey, it's David back from BreezeFlippers, back in my shipping room. End of the week. Not going to say it's a great week, but it was a little better than last week. So it got me thinking about some things this week to take some time that we were working on stuff to maybe work on some efficiency. So this week I'm going to talk a little bit about, maybe a few things that makes me more efficient. Some decisions I have to make, looking at time and money, which is, every job and everything out there. So we're going to take a quick look at that. We're going to show what sold. So let's get into it. Like I was saying, my subject this week is about time and money. And here's what got me thinking about this today. I spent the better part of almost 5 hours today working in my front yard. I have a big tree, actually I have 3 big trees out there, and they like to drop their leaves twice a year. This is Florida. They don't do things like the normal trees do. So I had a lawn full of leaves. So I tried to mulch it, and that didn't work because it was just putting more leaves down in smaller pieces. So I spent the better part of the day raking leaves into big bags, and I have maybe 14 bags of leaves out there. And I got to thinking about that. I was like, how much time I spent out there and how much money that was worth. If I was able to take that time and spend it on maybe say new listings on eBay, running an auction on Dibit, would that have been better? So we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, and it's just one of those things that got me thinking. And also going to talk a little bit about some changes I'm trying to make in my office / eBay room to make it a little bit more efficient. But first of all, let's show what's sold. So like I said, not a super week, but we did have some sales. And of course we also, like anything, always have a hat sale. So this is a Chicago Blackhawk hat, and it's made by New Era. It's a nice looking hat. Well, I will tell you, it has a little spot. You can see where they had a sticker on it, and obviously it sat on a shelf and faded. So I put that in the description. So we're going to see if it goes through. I'm hoping that they read it, but sometimes people don't. We didn't get much for that hat. That's the reason why. $6.74, $4.99 on shipping on that. Next thing we sold, well, we sold another one of these. I'll be happy when they're gone. Not just because I'll be happy when they're gone, because they're so heavy and there's so many of them, but they were such a good deal. Another Playboy. This is from 1998 March, and it's got Marlise Andrada on the cover. Anyway, this is almost mint condition, so it's going out $14.24, and of course we ship those free shipping. And then let's see what else we got today. Well, we sold a Nintendo game lot. So games, again, one of our biggest sellers. Comics and games we sell a lot of. This is 5 games, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Nope, 6. Yeah, 6 games. It's got the bigs. Let's see. I'm not sure what the other ones is. Racket Sports. It's got something sports, We Play, and Winter Sports. So anyway, I ended up getting $15 for that, and this will go out $5.99 shipping. Some more games that we sold. We have also a set of, I don't have it. I know I just sold it. Oh, you know what? I said that wrong. That wasn't what I sold. That was actually more. This is what was $15. This is a set of 3 Nintendo. You can't be perfect at everything, right? It's actually Nintendo 64 games. No, not 64. These are just NES. So 3 NES games. It's Monopoly, Wheel of Fortune, and Dr. Mario. So those 3 went out. Those were $15, and I'll get $5.99 shipping for those. The games, actually a big lot of 6 games, actually sold for $22.49, and I'm getting $8.99 shipping for those. So again, big games on this weekend. It was good to sell those. And then not without least, but we did sell another comic. So this one's actually kind of cool. This is Lady Killer, issue number 1. Pretty good comic. This is like near mint, almost perfectly new. I guess there was an option for a movie on this. I don't know yet if that's the whole thing's going to come through, but I understood Netflix is doing something on it. So I have several of these. Bought them from Golden Auctions through, it was a long box. I think there were 240 comics in it or something. It was an enormous amount of comics. Most of them were DC or independents, a lot like these. So a lot of Image, a lot of Dark Horse. There were some DC in there. There was some good comics in there. I've sold several of them here and there, but I did get an entire set of these. I think I have 3 of these and a whole full set, and then some others. So, but yeah, so I ended up getting Total actually, so I gave the guy a deal. It shows $27.07 on my sheet, but actually I gave him a refund. So he ended up paying $25, and then this was going out free shipping. So that's one of the new things that I've been doing, just trying it, and it seems like it's been doing okay. I'm not gonna say it's doing great, but it seems like the free shipping has gotten a little bit more attention. I'm not doing it on everything, just because certain things, I guess in my head, I'm trying to think of the things that probably have a higher possibility of being returned. I don't really want to pay shipping both ways, right? So if they were being returned because they didn't like it, I can keep the shipping. I usually do, as a matter of fact, every time. So if they say, I just didn't like it, when I get the shipping back, when I get it back, I send it free, you know, the shipping label. But when I get it back, I keep the shipping, the original shipping, because then I'm not out anything. And that's just, it's not my fault you didn't like it. Now, if it's something I did, then I'll take that. That's on me. So, but, you know, as a top seller, you have that right to do that. So, but that's what went out. All in all, this week, it's not horrible. Like I said, we, I think our entire week, our weekend, the weekend was only about, it only looked like $112 in sales, but our entire week was $368. So if you're looking at our total numbers for the year again, not doing great in, yeah, $368 for the week. Not super, guys. March starting out bad. I mean, it's not horrible, but like I said, I had a great January and February, so I'm not sure. Some people didn't have a great in January and February, but they're having a great March. So you just don't know how the business is going to treat you. So, you know, we're trying to overcome that by doing a lot more listings. I've drafted today, again, another 25 or 30 items. I'm going to drop them quick and try to get them up and get things rolling a little bit, so I can drop maybe 10 a day and see if that's going to help. But overall for March, we're down about 27% over last year, which is not the end of the world, right? So, and we're up though on our average sale price. So up about, we're at $31, so up 64%. So I think that's okay. And if you look at our overall quarter, you know, we're still okay. We're still up 53%. So we're on track, right? So we're gonna have to get some things moving though. So we gotta figure out what we can do to get things hopping in eBay, which kind of comes to the point that I was gonna make this week and talk a little bit about. So, so like I said, I spent the better part of 5 hours a day doing lawn work, and I absolutely hate lawn work. So I got to thinking about it while I was out there raking, because you have time. So I got to thinking about, what am I doing? Like, what is my time worth on the eBay standards, right? So if I was looking at what I'm doing for reselling, I figured it up and said, okay, let's just think about this. If I average 20 hours a week reselling, which we're going to say that's what it is. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. It depends on the week, right? Depends on what's going on. But if I do 20 hours a week, take 2 weeks off a year for reselling, just random, right? Not put the 20 weeks or 20 hours in, that's 50 weeks and 54, 52, yeah. So 50 weeks out of the year, I work 20 hours a week. That's 1,000 hours. So if we're on track to, and hope to do, at least 45,000 this year on eBay reselling, that comes to about $45 an hour. So when you start thinking about it, and I spent 5 hours out there, that's what, 99, 100, that's 80, boy, I have to think really fast. Hold on, math, 180. So that's about a little over $200, right? So I got to thinking about that today, and I'm like, I spend an average of 2 hours a week working in the lawn. So that's $90, right? If I was to take that time and spend it doing something that would be more productive, to say like more listings or anything along that line, that money becomes easy to spend and say, I'm gonna pay somebody. So this week I'm gonna check around and see if I can't find somebody that might do my lawn and work on it, because it is a lot of work, and and I'm no spring chicken. So anyway, things hurt afterwards. That's why I'm tired today, and that's why this video will probably be shorter than normal, because I'm whooped. But I got to thinking about it. So now if you take your time and think about that, and you also look at your time that you spend, like in my real job, if I combine those, then my time's worth a considerable amount more. So you know, that 2 hours a week could be, you know, justified doing something else, and it makes sense to kind of look at it. So although it's still money, it comes out of your pocket, right? So it's one of those things where I got to look at and decide. And my lawn doesn't look great. I don't have lawn of the month, so maybe I would have a chance if I had someone else do it, because a green thumb I do not have. So, but that's kind of what's going on this week, guys. It's not been, like I said, crazy busy. We did have a couple auctions. We had Actually had several auctions. I think I had 2 comic auctions, which did good. So I think we were about a little over 200 for both of those. We did a media auction on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night. And I'll be honest with you, it was Wednesday night. It was slow. It hurt. The first 30 minutes, I don't think we had but 2 people that bought anything. But then the last 30 minutes, it seemed like we were hitting on all cylinders. And I think what happened was there were a bunch of people on at the same time we were. And then one of them got off at 7:30 because we started at 7. And as soon as we did, they came into our sale and they seemed like they bought quite a few things. So we did okay. I think we did about $150 for that sale. So not going to complain. Just definitely making me think a little bit about the things I want to sell. We also did a clothes auction on Threads on Thursday night, and that was brutal. So there was a lot of shows going on. There weren't a lot of people on that night. So it's not perfect every night. And I also think Threads is still new and it's still growing. And I think it'll be really great at some point, but we need more buyers on there, more people joining so that they can kind of get the deals. But we did end up selling probably about $80 worth of stuff plus shipping. So I think we're just at the $100 mark. But that wasn't great, but doesn't deter us from doing it again. We will do it again, but we're kind of figuring out what people like, and they're looking for deals. Most of them are resellers on there right now, and so resellers like us, they're still buyers, but they're not going to pay the eBay prices or retail prices. They're going to try and get a good deal because obviously they want to resell it. So that's a tough thing to do. So it kind of makes you think a little bit about sourcing and what you're doing on sourcing. So we did go sourcing Saturday, and there were some garage sales. We were up at 5:30, and it was a long day, but we were up early, and we ended up going to maybe 8, 10. I think that's all we found, garage sales. So not a whole bunch, and I think everyone was kind of being scared off from this weather that we were supposed to have that never transpired. So we ended up hitting some good ones, but we found some good stuff. I mean, we found some Disney dresses that'll probably sell for $60 to $80 each. I found an outboard motor book, repair manual that I picked it up for $1. I know it'll sell for $30. And then there's a few other things that we picked up here and there, some videos. I picked up some more cards. I don't know if they're worth anything, to be honest with you, but the deal was so good. It was an entire book of cards. It looked like an entire run of football cards, some of the like 80s and maybe some 90s in there. And I just picked it up for $5 and some Harley cards for $2. So it was just fun because I pick up cards wherever I can because I want to learn and see what's good and what's not. Had an opportunity to buy an entire box of baseball, football, all kinds of random cards. It was at an estate sale, and man, were they proud of it. The day of the estate sale started, they were selling them for $1 a piece, and I'm telling you, they weren't worth a penny a piece, to be honest with you. So I went in there the next day and said, they said, well, I'll make you a deal. You can buy everything. It was a book and the whole bit. And they're like $225. I'm like, I couldn't even give you $25. I don't think that they're worth anything. And they weren't in penny sleeves. The edges were rough. I mean, it was just cards in a box. So they called me back later and said they'd take $175. And I'm like, no, because I honestly said I couldn't even do 75. It's just, they're not worth it. I would probably have done somewhere in the 40 to 50 range just because I might find something in there that would be worth it, maybe a rookie card or something, but even that's a chance, and that's not really a chance that I wanted to take. I'd rather take that money and go to our local card shop and go through the dollar bins and see if I could find some winners in there. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. But yeah, so that was part of it. And then of course this weekend, I've been working on my office. So I hope to be able to show you that on the video that I put out. Usually I do it on Wednesday and I put it on Thursday. So I'm trying to be more efficient in there, trying to, kind of clean some things up so that it doesn't feel like I'm so overwhelmed with all the stuff I got done today. Like I said, I did almost probably 40, I think it was close about 40 drafts today. I was up early and just started photographing. So I'm hoping that, clearing that out, making this a little bit more efficient. I did some things in there that's gonna clean it up. It makes it a little bit quicker and easier. Got rid of the photo booth, and I'll show all that later. And plus is also gonna give me a nice little area to do auctions for comics and for cards when I start those pretty soon. So lots of stuff going on. Just busy. So like, what's that? $45 an hour, right? For reselling. So, you know, I would like it to be more than that, to be honest with you. And hopefully at some point someday it will. If you've gotten this far, I hope that you can like and subscribe. We're going to try to grow this channel. We grew really well last month. I think we added 39 new followers, and I appreciate that, and subscribers. So we would love to be able to try to hit 200. We're probably going to do something at 500. I have some stuff. I have a thing I might give away at 500, so I'm trying to look and see if I can do that. But we just like to be able to get to that, grow this channel a little bit, and interact with you guys a little bit more. So if you have comments, you want to talk about the $45 an hour thing, these are my notes, then let me know. What's your thoughts on that, you know? I mean, is it worth it? Would you go hire a lawn keeper, somebody to do your lawn for what? It's probably about $50 to have someone come and mow my lawn every time. And that's Florida, it's every 10 days. So $50 every 10 days. No, I'm cheap. So that's a tough one, but that $50, can I spend that time, you know, doing something else? And it has to be worth it, right? So it's definitely something I'm going to look at and consider, but it's, you know, looking for more efficiencies, and we'll talk more about some of these things too as we come up. And I'd love to hear what you guys are doing to make yourself more efficient. So leave me those comments, and I try to answer every one of them. So and I appreciate you guys. So, but that's what's going on with us. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe, and I hope your business is doing great. I'm David Beckham, BreezeFlippers. We'll see you.